get featured on the channel. If you guys want to participate, you know what to do. Make sure to watch the video link down below. But yeah, with that said, let the setup wars begin. I want to give a huge thanks to Vikings War of Clans for sponsoring today's video. Vikings War of Clans was inspired by famous strategy and RPG games of the 90s like Final Fantasy. It's very addicting to play with amazing graphics, and it's free to play. Help support my channel by downloading Vikings for free using the link in the description section. You guys will also get a special bonus of 200 gold coins and a protective shield, which will be extremely useful at the start. Kicking off the episode, we have Evan and his epic triple monitor setup that he uses for music production and light gaming. He's got a single 24-inch Acer monitor in the middle, sandwiched by two 24-inch HP monitors, but it looks like one of them needs to be color calibrated. The desk he's using is the popular IKEA KARLBY countertop that's being supported by two Alex drawers, pretty much the staple of most setups on the show. The benefits of going with a kitchen countertop from IKEA is the length, giving you lots of room to work with. Evan took advantage of all that and mounted his speakers. Scratch that, 2 sets of speakers. We have the Yamaha HS7 sitting on the stand and the Mackie CR3s right on top. This is actually the first time that I've seen something like this, especially in a music production setup. I wonder why anyone would need 2 sets of speakers for monitoring audio. Maybe my music producers could let me know in the comment section. For peripherals, he's rocking the Logitech G403 wireless mouse and the DZ60 keyboard with GMK camping keycaps, which I think looks really clean. Aside from the speakers, he does own a pair of cans as well. We got the ATH AD900Xs, which are hanging from his PC underneath the desk. There's an i7 6700K, 32 gigs of RAM, and the EVGA GTX 1080 in here with custom sleeved cables and a backplate from V1 Tech. A very clean looking PC inside the NZXT S340 Elite case. It's a shame that beautiful PC has to be on the floor though. Cable management is very clean. We have a SIGNUM holding up the cables, no complaints here. I guess the only thing I would suggest is maybe color correcting the first monitor and then fixing some of the acoustic panels because the gaps between some of them are big enough to be noticeable. I feel like small things like that take away from the overall appearance and presentation of the setup. I would also try and find a way to put the PC above the setup because if you took the extra time to mod it and make it look that good, then it deserves to be seen more. Maybe grab an extra Alex drawer and squeeze it on the right side of your setup. Either way, it's a killer setup. Thank you for entering. Now this guy knows how to treat his PC, right up there on the center shelf. So this is Jasper from Sweden and his claustrophobic setup for gaming, design, and video editing. In case you guys haven't noticed, he is a big fan of Star Wars, hence the wallpaper and the theme of the entire setup to match his Sith build. It's got an i3-8350K, 32 gigs of RAM, and the NVIDIA Titan XP Galactic Empire Edition, which fits beautifully with the theme. There's some serious bottlenecking in this build, but who cares? Look at how dope that SFX case looks. Right below that, we got the Acer X34 Ultrawide that's mounted against the wall, and underneath that is an interesting combo, the Apple Magic Keyboard and a Razer Lancehead mouse. So Jasper is an art director and he's so used to using Apple products because of their design, but he also loves to game, hence why he compromised with the Razer mouse. I gotta give points for the Commodore 64 that's being proudly displayed in the shelf above. That thing must go for a lot now. He's also got a few OG consoles up there like the original Nintendo, Sega Dreamcast, and the Mega Drive, also from Sega. For anyone that's in their late 20s or early 30s, do you guys remember the Sega Genesis? Even till today, I remember some of the best games I've played on that console. Golden Axe 3, Sonic, X-Men Clone Wars, we got Battletoads, and even Street of Rage 2. If you guys have played any of those games, you are a true OG and you have earned my respect. Cables are managed beautifully with a single channel raceway hiding the wires from the PC and the monitor all the way down to the cable rack. Excellent use of space for a compact gaming and productivity setup. Well done, Jasper, and thank you for entering. At number 3, we have Joakim from Sweden, and I know I butchered the crap out of your name, so I apologize. But we have here his gaming and productivity setup featuring a 48-inch curved 4K TV from Samsung and a 27-inch monitor that's mounted vertically. This is an interesting way of setting up 2 different size displays. He even managed to pick up the perfect size so it fits flush right next to it. He did do a good job keeping the surface of the desk clutter-free. We have a Varmillo keyboard and the Logitech G403 mouse, and next to that is a tray holding his remotes and other miscellaneous tech. I know I recommend this a lot in my videos, but this desk has plenty of space to add a pull-out drawer under it so that he can hide those items instead of leaving it in plain sight. For audio, he does have a few sources. He's got the Sennheiser RS-185s, and you guys remember that super expensive speakers from that rich guy in episode 161? Well, this guy's rocking the same pair, the KEF LS50s with the ISO acoustic stands. He does have a mic setup as well, a Blue Yeti hooked up to a boom arm. The desk he's using is custom made with a built-in cable management rack, and all the wires are routed straight to the PC, which has a 5820K, 16 gigs of RAM, and the Asus GTX 1080 Ti Strix. It's a beautiful yet powerful productivity and gaming setup, but I feel like it's missing some personality. I feel like it's all work and no play. Maybe add some posters or even a wall shelf with some of your favorite stuff on there to give it some spice, but yeah, overall, it's a solid setup. Thank you, Joachim, for entering, and again, I apologize for butchering your name. Kuba from Poland is coming in at number 4 with his gaming and photo editing setup. So he has a 43-inch TV sitting on a shelf that's really close to his bed, and he uses that for gaming through his Xbox controllers, and this display is also connected to his PC. The main setup has a 24-inch Asus monitor hooked up to another KARLBY countertop. Damn, these tables are popular apparently. So on the desk we have yet another compact keyboard. This one is from Motospeed, and it's the CK61 with custom side-lit keycaps and a self-made coiled cable, which looks really cool and kind of blends in with the keyboard LEDs. For audio, he has a pair of Fender R50 speakers and the HyperX Cloud headset resting on a hanger. Powering it all is a custom PC rocking a 6600K, 32 gigs of RAM, and the GTX Strix 1060. Cables are neatly managed underneath the desk with an SD card reader attached for convenience. No real complaints for this setup. I feel like it's organized very well with purpose, however it could use some more lighting. Maybe adding an LED strip behind the desk will brighten up the setup a bit more, but I got a feeling you like a dimly lit setup. Either way, thank you, Kuba, for entering. Last but not least, we have Trevor and his gaming setup. He's actually using my favorite tabletop from IKEA, the Halistad, and he's got 2 Alex drawers as support. Mounted on the desk are 2 different 27-inch monitors from Asus, and below that we got the Corsair K70 Lux RGB keyboard and the Razer Death Adder Elite mouse, which he drilled a hole for. Nicely done. For audio, he's using a pair of DT990 headphones and the Blue Yeti microphone, which is next to a Lego NASA Apollo Saturn rocket. And next to that, we got the PC powering it all, which has an 8700K, 16 gigs of RAM, and the GTX 1070 from Asus. An interesting color choice. He's using green sleeve cables with RGB lighting, but then the lighting from the keyboard, mouse, and RGB strip are purple, so nothing's really consistent here. What is consistent is the cable management, a SIGNUM rack to hold the cables underneath the desk, and a mounted power strip. Obviously, I would recommend a hanger to hold up your headphones, but other than that, it's a really clean and straightforward setup. Thank you, Trevor, for entering. And that wraps up this episode of Setup Wars. Make sure you guys comment below on who has the best desk setup in this episode. I'll announce the winners on my Twitter and Instagram accounts. Thanks again so much for watching. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed the show and a dislike if you